Hey there, customer whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I always get it wrong every single time. Here is your limited Jesse's Dead glove. This is number 2 of 5. I have 2 more spots available for this if anybody is interested. So, this is made with the unflattened, unannealed, so not annealed at all, Type M copper pipe, just like the original glove was. It's sanded, so it looks like the Part 2 look. Has all the rivet details, all of the plier marks all over. The ground down, scratched up blades. And these are kind of sharp, but not exactly sharp. I figured by Part 2 they were probably semi-dulled, so that's what I have these at. You could probably cut yourself if you tried, but they're not incredibly sharp. They do have the scratches on the middle ring and pinky blade, which I believe were to cover up the P210 logo. The blunted tips, the blade break, of course. It still has some reds on the fingertips. This is not, by the way, the final color of the copper. It's going to be naturally aging over the next few weeks. This is just the state that I get into before it does that. The backplate, however, is completely finished. And so is the leather, of course. I sort of let the leather wrinkle itself for the most part. I will add wrinkles to certain spots, but I sort of just let it do its thing, because if you wear it, it's going to wrinkle up pretty hard. This does have the missing rings with the marks. I'll show that in a second, just because I haven't really shown the Part 2 as much as the Part 1. The wire ring, as well as the holes and the solder marks. There's 2 marks on the index and middle as well. Larger rivets on the index. Middle and pinky gets a paper brad. Cut off ball. I apologize if I'm breathing heavy, I always do. It's just what I do. It's like my main thing. And I'll show the underside, because there's some details specific to Part 2 under here. Ah! There you go. So, the solder where the rivets are is, as far as I'm aware, unique to Part 2. I don't believe that that was done for Part 1. Granted, we don't have any underside shots of it in Part 1, but considering some of the rivets are changed out on Part 2, I imagine it was done while that was being done. And then there's also the details on the missing rings where you can see the ring was before. I did actually make a ring and then rip it off, because you can see those marks on the pictures that we have. Of course, you have the holes in the rings, which I don't know if that'll show up, but they're there. And this solder is recreated as best I can, same as the messed up rivets on that part. I don't do the messed up rivets in here, because I have no idea when that happened, but I can make a good guess of when this happened, which was probably when these rivets were being swapped. But anyway, I hope you like it, man. If anybody wants one of these Part 2s, they are $900 plus shipping. Part of that is for the P210 reps, which they all have standard unless you pay for or send me real P210s, which I only have one other glove that has that right now. And I hope you like this, and I hope anybody who wants it picks up the other 2 gloves. Though hopefully it's two separate people.